Morning, good
Good evening,
evening.
ma'am.
How are
Good
you doing,
evening.
ma'am? I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I just come from one meeting, the other meeting. How are
Um,
you doing? Good evening. Very happy to be here on Igniting Minds. डर नहीं है.
Thank you, ma'am. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I welcome you all for the Beyond Education Inspiring Stories to Inspire the World, being organized by Idym Group of Companies. It is a unique talk show that invites people from different parts of the world to share their stories with us. And we till now we have speakers from many countries of the world. We had educators, we had principals, we had entrepreneurs, we had trainers, and the people like from different professions who have been working. And of course, like today, we are having an advocate. So, my dear viewers, let me tell you, today we have a very special guest with us, Dr. Advocate Rana Khatri Tandon, who is the founder, CEO, Right to Rights, Women and Child Rights and Law Specialist, and cyber safety expert, and she's a two-time TEDx speaker. So I welcome you, ma'am, for this wonderful show, and I hope you will be having a great time talking to you. Welcome, ma'am, to the show.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anjum Qureshi. And a very warm welcome to all IDYM Foundation viewers. Thank you very much. A deep, deep gratitude towards Ravi Shankar sir. Thank you for having me here.
Ma'am, you're there. Your voice is breaking. Rhino, ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, now it's okay. It's okay now, but your voice
Yes.
was breaking, so I couldn't hear you properly. Okay, ma'am. So let's start. I just saw when I was seeing your profile that you as doctor and as advocate. So can you just tell me something about your educational qualifications and where you have completed and what are your qualifications and how you completed your studies and what were your specializations and all?
Wonderful question. I say with humble minds, with beautiful minds, with knowledgeable people, we always rise when we have the vision of growth, not beyond us, but all with the people around. And I never thought that I would explore my journey into what I am today. But yes, I wanted to be a woman who shows the importance of honesty, ethics, courage, and impact with delivering leadership and inspiring others. So it was very important that as I was growing, I should do something very unique. I'll talk a little about my education. Uh, I do come down from South, and the action was always in the blood. So मेरे जो पापा हैं वो बिजनेस में थे, तो वो उन्होंने कभी पूछा था कि बच्चा आपको करना क्या है बड़े होके. तो मैंने बोला था भाई पापा बिजनेस नहीं करना है, कुछ अलग ही करना है. और अलग करने की चाह थी उसी वक्त कि अगर एक दिशा में सारे ही जा रहे हैं तो हमें कुछ अलग करके अपना नाम कमाना चाहिए, बिकॉज एवरीबडी डज कम फ्रॉम देयर फादर, from their husband, from the family, and we proudly say that we come from that kind of a seed. But it's also important that today you also make an impact, an identity of yourself. So that time itself, I had decided that, I'd like to do something in the corporate world. ये companies होती क्या है, कैसे काम करती है? How is the kind of leadership there? How do we emerge as a leader? How exactly are to be leading so many associations, foundations? So I said I'd like to go in that path. तो मेरी education, of course, एक convent school से हुई है. उसके बाद फिर matriculation studies खत्म करके engineering की है. So prominently, I'm one of the most renowned universities where the Tamil Nadu CM has also come out from. And we also had a schooling from a very renowned place where a lot of people who are celebrities also had come out. So I would give all that credit to my parents because they wanted their child to shine. Of course, they didn't know that I would be there today doing what I'm doing. बट उसके बाद जर्नी ऐसी हुई कि लाइफ कभी एंड नहीं होती जब तक आप सीखते ना रहो. लर्निंग इज ऑलवेज देयर इन योर ब्लड. हाउ मच डू यू वांट टू लर्न इज अप टू यू. सो यस, my first masters, then my PhDs, second masters, PhD at the age of 40. I think life has always been a journey. And even now, I think I get into the cyberspace, cyber safety space. I'm also known as a cyber safety specialist. I'm also working into abuse addiction of youth. So from POSH and POXO, we have emerged into some specializations of human rights. क्योंकि अगर हम human नहीं हैं और हमारी rights पता नहीं है, तो बाकी सब चीजें बेमायने हो जाती है, right? So this is a little bit about you. Of course, we will unveil little by little. पूरी अपनी कहानी आपको बता के ही जाएंगे ताकि ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग इंस्पायर होके इग्नाइटिंग ड्रीम्स और यंग माइंड्स के फाउंडेशन में आगे आके बोले कि भाई हम भी इनके साथ बनना चाहते हैं, इनकी तरह बनना चाहते हैं. राइट, ओवर टू यू मैम.
Yeah, of course, of course. One more question, like here, so like you said you did engineering, and you are also an advocate, and then
Yes.
you said about two masters and two PhDs. So what are those? Firstly, how from engineering to going becoming an advocate, and secondly, what are the two masters and two PhDs that you have done?
Okay, so interestingly, let me tell you, my background has been more into IT. Okay, so my first, of course, from schooling, we always emerge. We in that time, I think 15 years, 20 years back, there were only two lines. Life was very easy, you know. या तो डॉक्टर बन जाओ या इंजीनियर बन जाओ या तो सीए के लाइन में चले जाओ. तो मेरे लिए भी लाइफ थोड़ी सुलझी हुई थी कि भाई क्या करना है, इंजीनियर ही बनना है. So I choose the engineering profession. And when we go into engineering profession, of course, a scientist, you want to be a researcher, you want to be an educationalist, you want to be somebody who's into developing of gadgets. I choose the line of being an electronic and communication engineer because you have an option of electronic and communication where you're trying to meet maybe different ends. उसके बाद लाइफ ने वापस पूछा कि भाई इसके आगे क्या. तो यस, आई ट्रेवर्स्ड इनटू डूइंग अ वेरी स्पेशलाइज्ड फील्ड. 20 years बैक ये एक एलियन वर्ड था, लेकिन आज की दुनिया में यही चल रहा है, एंड दैट इज VLSI, चिप डिजाइन इंजीनियरिंग एंड AI. I think AI everybody knows, and chip design is the hottest topic, and that's where today we are in chat GPT world and not just in a computer world. Where we are trying to understand more how techs work, how technology works, how we can make things more easier, how we can sort our lives. और आगे जाके बहुत सारे machines, robotics, बहुत सारे equipments आ जाएंगे जो शायद human को भी कुछ हद तक replace कर पाए, लेकिन completely तो replace नहीं कर पाएंगे for sure, because we are people of emotions, we are people of connect. तो ये मेरी स्पेशलाइजेशन थी मास्टर्स में. और आगे जाके फिर AI एम्बेडेड सिस्टम चिप डिजाइन में मैंने यूके और एडिनबर्ग से अपनी आगे की डिग्रियां की. सो ये खत्म होके फिर आई थिंक लाइफ टुक अ टर्न. आई केम बैक, आई वर्क फॉर अ वेरी बिग हाई टेक जायंट IT कंपनीज, एंड द नेक्स्ट जर्नी बिगैन. जो हम सब जानते ही हैं कि हम लोग की भी शादियां होनी है, हम लोग भी घर जाने हैं दूसरे के, and that's where, you know, my next professional journeys evolved. So this is my first journey. The second area where I was being seen now since 7-8 years is more into legal. That's where we try and understand, you know, how POSH and POXO happened, the advocacy part. Uh, Educated from Maharashtra National Law University, going ahead doing a lot of work into human rights. So I have done my second PhD from Brazil University, which is more into human psychology, child rights, and women rights. So today, human rights is something that lays a foundation for everything. Of course, it sounds very general, but if you don't know your rights to safety, if you don't know your rights to discrimination, if you don't know your financial rights, if you don't know your will rights, if you don't know your existence rights, if you don't know how humanity works, if you don't know how the right of duties are, if you don't know government rights, if you don't know any of these areas, you are actually running a business without any direction, because you don't know how to properly develop the policies, structures, systems, like probably all of us are doing. So yes, basic United Nations has already laid that for India, and India has its own rights for its own people. So I always say every country should know at least the basic rules, laws, and rights. If we know that, then we can lead country to a very different place. So that's the area that I secondly work in. So that's my two various and variety of uh, spaces that I work. Of course, they are two different spaces, very unlikely each other. एंड बहुत सारे लोग ये भी पूछते हैं कि मैम आज आप ये क्यों कर रहे हो, तो उसका आंसर यही है कि हर एक जिंदगी, हर एक नजरिया, हर एक रास्ता हमें खुद भी पता नहीं होता, लेकिन एक जरिया बनता जाता है. आई अलोन can't change the world. I need to put this stone, and all I can do is educate myself and all the people around me, and then the ripples will create. So of course, I'm building more and more people, and if we don't have the basics right, if we don't have a foundation right, then the team, the blocks, the building systems will always fall. So yes, we are helping many ecosystems, mentoring them, women entrepreneurs, SMEs, MSMEs, where the basic foundation is needed. If we can work on that, then I think sky is the limit to go success. And that's more about what I wanted to share.
Yeah, yeah. That's really amazing. From an electronics engineer to being coming into the law field, doing your degrees in law, and that too in the specialization after being in electronic specialization in VLSI techniques, so the VLSI and chip design. So that was again great. Excuse me.
No problem, Anju ma'am. So yes, friends, a little more before Dr. Anju comes in. I think we also need to understand in our life that power is not actually given to us. Many a times we have to go ahead and reach out to it. We have to go out and take it and say, yes, I'm going to change the world. So the question that Anju ma'am asked, why? Why are you doing what you're doing? A wise woman will not say why she's doing certain things, because every route that we take is because of the pre and the post context, and every choice that we make will lead us to the next level. So it's always a journey, and what were the things that happened before and after that led us into this journey. So I would always say that. And yes, welcome, Dr. Anjuman ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. And then you're also the founder and CEO of the Right to Rise. So can you just tell about what it is and what all work you have been doing through this?
What a fantastic question. I think I will say right to rise is equal to Rena, and Rena is equal to right to rise, because I have never discriminated, or I've never removed right to rise from my name always. Uh, I think, like I already said, when we grow, we have an option of how we want to grow. And it always depends on the purpose. क्योंकि हर एक setup का एक purpose होता है. For example, you can see IDYM Foundation, it's a step towards self-reliant India. It's a step where they want to lead all the people in India towards a foundation of, say, a school of satellite foundation, education, empowering. Right to Rise had a tagline, we believe that every person has the right to rise. Because my purpose was, one, driven towards empowering people. Two, empowering in the area space of probably leading them in any form of growth. Initially, it was growth of entrepreneurs, then women entrepreneurs, helping them in areas where they need to grow on their rights and laws, then helping them to overcome their biases and judgments. Then sometimes we also start questioning ourselves. So we don't know where to say no, where to say yes, and how to draw the boundaries. And many other areas like knowing our duties, our rights, how do we approach people, what is the kind of communication that we do when we are fighting for ourselves and are standing for our integrity. So every moment when I was talking, my lead audience, the women, the children, the other genders, many other schools, colleges, I was only speaking about the safety. Safety, I say, is not a choice, it's a priority. We say it's a birthright, but we don't believe in it. If we believed in it, then we would always inculcate that as number one when we are going into education. If we are safe, if our ecosystem is safe, if our schools are safe, if our colleges are safe, our children are safe. If children are safe, our families are safe. Families are safe, then we as a culture, as a society are safe. So all the time, there were few value systems that came out. One was safety, the other was justice, honesty, ethics, integrity, and accountability with providing par excellence. So we always say that unitedly it became right to rise. And we always say that everybody around us, no matter what they ask you as education, as expertise, as growth, and whether they are SMEs, corporate schools, or colleges or NGOs, we are ready to help you to rise. And most importantly, the people who undergo pain because of sexual abuse, sexual harassment, ragging, bullying, these are the major areas that we speak about when we are talking in terms of POSH and POXO. Yes, now we have the cyber area, so we can't only talk about the physical space, we also need to talk on cyberspace. So we are working into cyber safety as well. And the next upcoming stuff where human rights, entrepreneurship rights, and many other areas come in. So yes, welcome to Right to Rise, and we believe that everybody has the right to rise.
Yes, everybody has a right to rise. And as you were telling about, yes, now we have to speak about cyber safety also. So when you are, I know, like when you are having the people, you must be interacting with them. So you must be knowing so much about, like, so when we are, like, I am in a college and with the students. So how should we tell the students about cyber safety? How to keep themselves safe? Because yes, we can't live with those digital devices. We can't live with the internet. We are in that particular age now. We can't be doing without them. But explaining to the students about being safe while using all this, it was sometimes difficult. So how to explain to them?
So interestingly, cyber is a boon and a bane, right? We can't run away from cyber, or we can't run away from using any of our gadgets because today we are living on them. In fact, the Digital India or Modi India government has also been very, very particular that we stop any form of physical trade or physical interactions, and we are using only equipments like UPI, BIM, digital media, any kind of. So every day for everything now we use a Google Pay or a Paytm or any kind of other devices for payments also. So whether it's e-commerce, whether it's transactions, whether it's business, we are going to always keep using, even for educating us, we are going to be using the social media. Social media and connecting on e-media and connecting on social media platforms are all ways by which we connect to different people, but we are not able to draw boundaries. Cyberspace is any equipment that we are using to connect to cyber medium. So any device, tomorrow use an iPad or a phone, that also becomes a device for any kind of hacks. When we talk about cyber safety, we cannot talk the same language to a young child who's 5 years old. We can't talk the same language to the person who's 12 to 15, or we can't talk the same from 18 and above. Okay, so there are different kinds of area zones. The way of explaining them will become different. There are different cyber apps that they use. There are different portals that we can keep in our phone to hack the time, to hack the device, to hack the medium. And what are they using? Some of them use phones, some of them use gaming devices, some of them are using educational devices. Today, even Google is prone to cyber attacks because when we are going to search, we don't get one answer to our question, we get many answers, right? Even today, when we're using Chat GPT, I think everybody says it's a boon to probably write the question, it gives the answer. I think it's not a boon, but it's also a bane. Because tomorrow, if you write, do you know Dr. Anjum Kurashi? If anything about you, including your photographs, are out there, it will just pick up the data and give it to you because it's absolutely a device. And let me tell you, this is the truth. If you go and Google out your own name on ChatGPT and say, do you know this person? He will pull out all the data that you have posted. And if you have not posted anything that is too much for people to know, then he will not be able to find it, because it finds only all the general data that has been there over different portals. Doesn't find from your LinkedIn or from your Facebook or anything per se as from the profile. Okay, so it is very important to first stop posting things which are irrelevant for the world to know. And if you really want to post them, then ideally have the right sites. For example, if you want to post it on Facebook also, you would not want to do it on a public site. You can create various Facebook profiles, and you can keep the private one private. You can keep the public one public, which is open to all. Again, on LinkedIn, again on Instagram, on Pinterest, on many other Quora. I think there are ways and means of keeping them safe and unsafe and open. How do you project? Who do you tag? How do you hashtag? What is the kind of safety app devices, tracking devices, time portals? How do you report cybercrime? What happens if you are access to a fraud? What access is somebody is hacking your phone? All these are things that need to be guided. So when we do a cyber safety session, we actually give them the entire overview of how it happens. What are the different kinds of attacks that can happen? What are the different kinds of hacks that happen? How can you stop them? How does it emerge from? Where do we detect it from? Of course, we don't tell them so much in detail, because then we're opening up things for even the hackers to know that, hey, they know this, we need to go an advanced level. But yes, whatever is needed for the children, for the youth, for the parents, for the teachers, and for the adults at a different level, we always give the information that's required. So that's a little bit about cyber safety. But yes, there is much more, because it's not just a little bit, it's an entire new world. So that's more for us and the viewers to know about this area.
Yes, of course. We have to be aware because usually
Yes,
today when I was talking to my students, I told that okay, you can post, you can post whatever you want, you can post your photos, but be
correct.
cautious what you are posting.
We
You can
can,
take
we
a number
can.
of,
But
you can
you
take
know
a
what
number of
happens
photos,
is,
take hundreds
yes,
of them.
करेक्ट.
But
जब हम पोस्ट करते हैं तो हमें किसको टैग करना है, किसको नहीं
yes,
करना है, कहाँ करना है, हमारी प्राइवेट स्पेस कहाँ आती है, और अगर हम किसी को नहीं बताना चाहते हैं कि कौन हमारे फैमिली में है, हम किस तरीके कपड़े पहनते हैं, all that matters. And I'm not saying don't wear it. We should be able to be normal, neutral, and we should be having different identities when we are with our family, a more close space. But we also need to understand that when we are in the professional world, people see us very professional, right? So we need to also carry that shadow. We don't want hackers and susceptors to come and say, अरे ये इंसान को हम एकदम साफ दिल के हैक कर सकते, क्योंकि इनको पता नहीं है कि दुनिया कैसे चलती है. So we don't want to give that kind of a view.
yes, of course that. It's not like you can't click photos. You can, but what you are posting on the social media, that is more important. You have to just take precautions with that. And like one more expertise that you have is about the women and child rights and laws.
Yes.
So can you just tell something about, especially for the child, especially for the children, when we are talking about the child rights. So how do we make the children aware of their rights?
So child rights have very many different buckets. When we talk about child rights, again, when we talk about women rights, there's POSH, there's cyber safety, there's a lot of other rights that come in. Women rights too, matlab hum bolte hain ki after 6 she cannot be arrested. She's given the rights of her, maybe her paternal and maternal side. How can she approach when she's talking about her rights to work, her workplace rights, her pregnancy rights, and many other things. That's with regard to women. When we talk about children, there is a lot of other areas like maybe abuse, harassment, cyber safety, gaslighting, anything where we are talking about addiction. So it goes very much in depth. अगेन छोटे बच्चे होते हैं तो उनका हम गुड टच बैड टच कराते हैं. उसके बाद आगे वाला होता है कि जब हम उनको और इन डेप्थ उनके बॉडी पार्ट्स के बारे में बताएं, और अगर उनको कोई टच करता है तो अब्यूज के लेवल पे चला जाता है. रेप कैसे होता है, एडिक्शन कैसे होता है, हैरेसमेंट कैसे होता है, कॉर्नरिंग कैसे होती है. सो देयर आर डिफरेंट राइट्स, डिफरेंट लॉज फॉर ऑल ऑफ दिस. Okay, and people who are in the cyber medium also, sometimes when they're doing gaming, they could go into pornographic sites, they could go into unwanted sites. So all these areas are different buckets. POXO will be talking more about abuse, harassment, and pornography. But yes, each of them also come under IPC, that is Indian Penal Code, and each of them have their own laws also. And when we are dealing with children, maybe we can, under the safety, take different areas and tell them this is how it works. But these are all very confidential areas, and we don't really open up in the public space. But yes, if you require any help, you can surely reach out to us, and we'll be happy to assist in whatever areas needed.
Yeah, that's great. And you're also a two-time TEDx speaker. So can you just tell something about your talk? Like, what were your topics and where did you do those talks and all?
Okay, so the first TED talk, I think, just came out of the blue. I think it was a TEDx Gateway. I had just gone to hear other speakers, and it just happened that they got up and said, "We have some surprise slots, and do you want to pick?" And by luck, you just go, you're actually watching everybody. It was not even prepared. I just picked up and my name came out, and they said, "Do you want to speak?" So it was a very short talk, which I made about 5 minutes. And it was more about my journey, the person who I am. काफी बार हम लोग अपने अंदर की जो भी भावनाएं होते हैं, हम किस तरीके से गुजरे हैं, वो दुनिया के बाकी लोगों को नहीं बताते हैं. I also felt that we should not be sharing that because उससे कुछ मिलता नहीं है ऐसे मुझे लगता है. I think people say please share your pain and that helps the other people also come out of it. I don't really know of that, but I just know that if you are looking at helping all the people around you, you can still weave a story around it. So, yes, I had spoken about how a woman selflessly gives her entire life without an expectation. Okay, so that was the area that I spoke about. And she never still asks anything. Okay, so the talk was more about a woman selfless, never asks. So it was all about that. The second one was a 360 degrees encompassed on how a person who changes to an individual who changes to a woman who changes into an entrepreneur, and the 360 degrees that she carries still strongly standing on the TED stage. So, yes, it had elements of different parts of my life story, but again, it was more about woman, the courageous, encompassed soul, the person who's standing up as a leader. And I always believe that I didn't learn to be quiet. I learned to speak because every opinion matters. And if you speak, there are reasons why people knew you were so strong. If you speak, there are reasons why people know that there is a story. If you speak, it matters that you told them that if you're going through it, then you need to speak up because every person finds a solution in you. So it was more around that. And yes, I can surely share with the viewers the talks, and they can go through and listen to it. But every story has a journey to unfold. So I'm sure each one of us are powerful in our ways. But they were both
Yes.
a beautiful, beautiful moment. And the third one was supposed to happen in May now. Um, but yes, the date has not yet been finalized because they're just looking at it. Uh, but it will be eagerly sought, and I'm sure everybody will be looking forward to join.
Sure, everybody will be looking forward, and it's really great. And one small question, ma'am. Nowadays, we have been listening or hearing some two terms, so I just wanted to ask about it. One is gender equality, and another is gender equity. So, what are these two terms actually? What is the difference, and what we should follow? We should give more stress on gender equality or gender equity.
Okay. First, I want to ask you, what is your meaning of gender equality?
Where both the genders they should be enjoying equal rights and equal opportunities.
Okay. So equal rights, equal opportunities. Okay. Equality means we are weighing both of them in the same scale, right? But do we really think that men and women are equal? keeping in mind the scenario that we have, at least with Asians, with Indians, with people around the globe, I don't think it's only an Asian problem. I think it's an entire world or a globe thing where we cannot be equal. So, gender equality is equality that we bring in both sexes and the other sex, where we're talking about different scenarios. In a workplace where she's in the boardroom or she's in a workplace, you can show equality by giving them equal positions, equal power, equal society, workplace culture. You can show them equality of work, equality of coming in, going out, going to work, equality of respecting elders, equality of
And your voice is breaking. I know, ma'am. Saina, ma'am, your voice is breaking. Are you there?
yes. Yes, are you able to hear me?
Yes, now
Yes.
you're audible.
So I was saying equality is always about keeping both genders on the same parity role. But this parity only can be maintained at workplace. We cannot have the parity at home because men are being developed with certain culture and women are being developed with certain nomenclature. And by birth, we know that men are being taken care as the breadwinners, women are being taken care as the home carers, home takers. Okay, so they always have their own courage, their own resilience, their own patience to handle everything, including the home front and the children front. Even though we have a lot, that balance is being maintained. A lot of women work hard, go out, come late, balance both home and work. But then equally, they are being supported by the men of the family, where they also are taking care of equal responsibilities. So yes, equality can be maintained at workplace, but when we look at our home front, equality cannot be maintained. So we it is unfair when we say equality in terms of gender. Equity leads to equality. I'm repeating again. Equity leads to equality. Now, what is gender equity? Equity is a process of being fair to men and women. So, you're giving fairness in strategies, in measures, in systems, in compensation, in opportunities, in historical, social advantages. If you're talking about will, then you should understand that when the father and the mother is no more, then all the property has been divided in all the children. It's no more that only the sons are going to get, daughters are not going to get, because the law itself has taken it equally. Again, when there are options where you have your boy and your girl, I'm sure we go to the state where we are saying, okay, fine, we are equal because we educate both our child. But it's not constrained only till education. उसके बाद का भी है ना. अगर खाली हम लेडीज को पढ़ा के उनको घर पे बिठाएं तो उसका क्या वैल्यू है. लेकिन अगर हम उसी बच्ची को पढ़ा के आगे लेके जाए नासा तक, शायद वो दूसरा हमारे लीडर बन जाए, एक पॉलिटिकल रोल मॉडल बन जाए, हमारे नेक्स्ट प्राइम मिनिस्टर बन जाए. सो वी मस्ट प्रिवेंट women and men to operate from different playing fields. We must always give them an example. And I think if you Google out, you'll always find this one man who's standing on a pedestal and he's looking at the football ground where you can't see the goal. And then there's another man who stands on two footprints just to make it equal. I think equity and equality go hand in hand. जब हम इक्वालिटी की बात करते हैं तो इक्विटी ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाता है. और हमारे हर एक स्टेटस, हर एक एग्जाम्पल में, घर में, बाहर में, जब हम एक बच्चे के लाइफ में भी देखते हैं, तो आई थिंक छोटी छोटी चीजें, जैसे अगर हम मनी मैनेजमेंट की बात करें, तो मनी मैनेजमेंट के टाइम पे या म्यूचुअल फंड्स या एफडीज या कुछ भी अगर हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, या एटीएम पे ही लेके जाते हैं। रात के 10 बजे ऐसे मैंने कभी काफी कम लोगों को देखा है कि वो अपनी बेटी को भी लेके जाए कि आओ मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ कि पैसे कैसे निकालने हैं। आओ आपको दिखाता हूँ कि एटीएम में कौन सी चीजें होती हैं। आई एम नॉट सेइंग एवरीबडी शुड बी डूइंग इट इमीडिएटली, बट आई एम सेइंग ग्रेजुअली वो भी तो सिखाना है हम कैसे डिसीजन मेकिंग करते हैं। इट्स नॉट ओनली फॉर टीचिंग द बॉयज दैट हाउ डू यू take care of your homes, how do you make the decisions. It's not only the girls to learn from the mothers, it should be opposite. That's where we are going beyond just the word equality and equity. We are thinking beyond कि और आगे हम इंडिया को कैसे आगे लेके जाएं। और एक चीज बताऊं जो मैंने हाल ही में बहुत ही एक्सपीरियंस की है व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट इक्वालिटी एंड इक्विटी। ऐसे बहुत एक अजीब इंस्टेंस हुआ था कि बिकॉज वी हैव चिल्ड्रन ग्रोइंग एंड वो यूथ के पीढ़ी में हैं, काफी बार वो अपने माँ बाप से कुछ काफी बोल नहीं पाते हैं। और बिकॉज वो देखते हैं कि अच्छा डॉक्टर अंजुमन है, डॉक्टर रैना है, वो मेरे फ्रेंड के मम्मी पापा हैं, शायद मैं उनको बोल पाऊंगा, वो शायद समझ जाते हैं। तो वो भी एक इक्वालिटी स्टेटस है जहां पे हम अपने आप को डिफ्रेंशिएट नहीं करें कि बच्चे सिर्फ पेरेंट्स को ही पूछे। बच्चों को जहां कंफर्ट दिखता है वो शायद दूसरे को भी जाके पूछेंगे जो एक्सपर्ट होगा। और वो पेरेंट्स को इन पेरेंट्स के साथ थोड़ा मिलके साथ में ग्रो करना चाहिए। That's where bringing whether it's a girl or a boy, again I'm just keeping it very open and gender neutral. वहां पे हमें आगे बढ़ के ये देखना है कि हम अपने कल्चर को, हम अपने लोगों को कैसे आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं। एंड वी आर नॉट लुकिंग एट जस्ट इक्वालिटी पार्ट से अपने घर तक सीमित नहीं है, हमारी सोसाइटी तक आगे बढ़ गई है। सो दीज आर लिटिल लिटिल थिंग्स। ऐसे तो बहुत सारी इंस्टेंसेस आएंगी जो मैं बताती जाऊंगी। तो लोगों के सोचने का नजरिया, उनका पर्सपेक्टिव और आगे बढ़ना चाहिए। That's where our India as a nation not only is a republic, not only is a democratic, but it's also a progressive country. I never say it is a progressing, it's always a progressive. Now it's the time to show the action which all our ministers have said ki we are the next forthcoming nation and we have everything, all resources to become big. So we should even get our mindsets to get on the equality and equity path. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. That was really a very wonderful explanation about these two terms because, the people are generally confused over those
Yes.
equality and equity. There is a lot of confusion. So that was really a very good explanation. And of course, those who will be watching or those who are watching this, it will be very helpful for them. Ma'am, you're doing a wonderful work to Right to Rise, and as you said, yes, with your name, I can see you never separated from your name. So, what are things in future, or what are activities or plans do you have to implement for the people through your Right to Rise?
So, Right to Rise now is building, looking at the expansion, looking at how other important aspects can be brought in. There's diversity, there's inclusion. We work into training, into compliance, into consulting, and into auditing space. We're also looking at human rights. We're also looking at many other rights. So I'm sure it's not a small thing because every day we come up with something new. Every day we're coming up with new strategies. Every day we're looking at new scalabilities. And it's not enough if we reach out to just 2,000 people, 10,000 people. हमारा नीड हमेशा ग्रो ही करता रहता है क्योंकि हम सेटिस्फाइड नहीं रहते कि हम और कॉर्पोरेट लोग को और स्कूल्स को और कॉलेजेस को और एनजीओ को और कंपनीज को, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेटअप्स को जाके हेल्प करें। जहां जहां हम जा सके वहां पे हम आपके इम्पैक्ट मेकर्स को बना सके। अगर कल आईडीवाईएम के बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो हाईली एजुकेटेड है, वो हमारे साथ जुड़ना चाहते हैं, सोशल लेवल पे, प्रोफेशनल लेवल पे जुड़ के आगे वही चीज करना चाहेंगे, तो मैं खुश किस्मत समझूंगी कि मेरे जैसे बहुत सारे रेनर्स पैदा होंगे जो आगे जाके, बिकॉज टुडे वी आर 1.4 बिलियन मैम। और मैं ये कभी नहीं बोलूंगी कि हम सक्षम हैं, हम काफी हैं, हम ज्यादा नहीं हैं। हम हमेशा चाहेंगे कि ऐसे बहुत सारे महिलाएं नहीं, आज तो हमारे साथ बहुत सारे मेन भी जुड़े हुए हैं, मर्द भी जुड़े हुए हैं जो इस चीज को आगे ले चुके हैं। बहुत सारे लोग आके कोलैबोरेट करना चाहते हैं कि मैम हम भी सीखना चाहते हैं। So it so happened, I'll share this one instance. I think last week I had done a seminar at one of the international schools, which was at one part of Mumbai. And the entire seminar was on abuse, addiction, how e-cigarettes and vaping devices and जो भी हमारे आज के बच्चों के स्कूल बैग्स में कभी कभी मिल जाते हैं कि अब्यूज एडिक्शन पे के नाम पे बहुत सारा कभी कभी पाउडर्स भी मिल जाते हैं. आई डोंट वांट टू टेक द नेम स्पेसिफिकली, बट वी नो दैट देयर आर थिंग्स दैट शुड नॉट बी देयर इन द बैग. एक ही चीज बोलना चाहूंगी कि काफी बार बच्चों को पता ही नहीं होता. दूसरी चीज है बिकॉज किसी का इन्फ्लुएंस ज्यादा हो जाता है, वो एक क्या है ये क्यूरियोसिटी की वजह से उसको टेस्ट करने लगते हैं. तो पहले तो उनको पता नहीं होता है, फिर उनको मजा आने लगता है, थर्ड उसका इम्पैक्ट ज्यादा होता है तो वो इन्फ्लुएंस हो जाता है, और फोर्थ वो एडिक्शन में घुस जाता है. तो ये सेशन हमने किया था कि किस तरीके से ये सब चीजें होती है, उनका मॉडल बनाया था और किस तरीके से स्कूल्स को उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना चाहिए ये बताया था. एंड I think the commissioner of police was also there with this spouse and he had given a very good testimonial which came out. तो मेरा इंटेंशन ये कि कभी कभी जब आप ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर्स और सिस्टम्स को अच्छे से बनाते हो तो उसका इम्पैक्ट भी ज्यादा अच्छे से होता है. एंड अब हम वही चाहते हैं कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग वो सीखें, जाके बताएं, जाके वर्क करें. और ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो पॉलिटिशियंस हैं, जो पुलिस से हैं, जो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर से हैं, जो हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं और आगे भी करना चाहते हैं. इनफैक्ट कमिश्नर की वाइफ ने भी बोला कि हाँ वो हमसे जुड़ना चाहती है. एंड आई वॉज वेरी हैप्पी कि उनमें आज ऐसे लीडर्स हैं हमारे पास जो आगे जाके कुछ लेना करना चाहते हैं. आई थिंक इट इज अ वेरी वेरी profound thing that we have people who want to take the action. It was very inspiring. But yes, there are people who we need, because to reach out to such an audience, I think 10,000, 15,000 is a very small number. We need to be big. So please जुड़िए राइट टू राइट से, ट्रेनिंग्स लीजिए, कंसल्टिंग लीजिए, सीखिए और आगे जाके वो इम्पैक्ट मेकर, वो वॉरियर ऑफ चेंज बनिए जो हम देखना चाहते हैं आगे. और एक हिस्टोरिकल इंडिया लेके आइए जहाँ पे सेफ्टी के नाम पे सब सेफ हो, चाहे वो साइबर में हो, चाहे वो फिजिकली हो, चाहे वो ग्रोथ हो या कुछ और हो. वी शुड बी द नंबर वन नेशन when it comes to safety.
Of course, ma'am. We should be the number one nation when it comes to safety, whether it is physical safety or cyber safety. So that's really a great message for all of this. Thank you very much, ma'am, for this wonderful message. And also thank you for joining with us and being a part of our show Beyond Education. So, and I would also like to thank the founder of Idym Group of Companies, Engineer Ravi Shankar, sir, without whom the show would have been possible. And also the whole team of Idym, especially Veenu Rasmi and Zenith ma'am, who have been working round the clock to bring one after one interesting sessions. And ma'am, you can also be part of other conferences and other events that are going on by IDYM. And IDYM, yes, its main motto is that every school children should be knowing about space technology, and IDYM has conducted a number of workshops and it has reached more than 1.5 lakh students to raise awareness regarding space and satellite technology. So thank you very much, ma'am, and thank you, Vandan, for joining.
Thank you very much. I think I'll take a moment. A lot of spectacular work by IDYM and E.R. Ravishankar sir with Deenul ma'am and many others. I think he has created a wave of people who are standing up, doing some spectacular work before the pandemic and even now. I wholeheartedly thank the entire team and wish them all success for doing massive work. I think you guys rock and keep doing the good work. Thank you very much. I'm honored and utmost pleasure to be here on this platform. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.